So tonight I was watching the president give a speech. There was a mass shooting at a college today, and he was giving his typical speech about sad for the family and everything. And this is not about the shooting. This is about what the president said to the American people on national TV. And he was going through what I've heard him say before, his general spiel after these things. And he then proceeded to say that we need stricter gun laws, and that places that have stricter gun laws have less gun violence. He actually said that places that have stricter gun laws have less gun violence. And this just blew me away, because you can go and Google the 20, the most dangerous cities in the United States and look at those like 20 cities that pop up, and half of them have lenient gun laws and the other half have very strict gun laws, okay? Chicago, Illinois, some of the strictest gun laws in the United States, most murders. New York City, plenty of gun violence there. Stockton, California, South Central LA. Think about these places where you wouldn't choose to go vacation. Detroit, Michigan. All these major cities where there's tons of violence and gun violence, and most of them have strict gun laws. And there are other cities that don't have strict gun laws that, are on the same playing field as far as violence. So if you try to bring a statistical correlation, if you look at the stats and you say, okay, the places that have lots of strict gun laws, what's the gun violence rate compared to the places that don't? You're going to find there's no correlation. The laws don't prevent criminals from murdering each other with guns. Okay? Baltimore, Maryland, very strict gun laws. Lots of gangbangers shooting each other up there. I believe last week there was a story about how 50 people were wounded. I don't know how many got killed, but at least 52 people were shot in Chicago, and that was the second week in a row that over 50 people were hit by stray bullets. So, there are places that have tons of gun violence that have very strict gun control, and there's other places that have tons of gun violence that have very lenient gun control. So, again, it's the problem with the politicians. They're trying to connect firearms directly with violence. And the problem is violence is being perpetrated by criminals. It's the places with the high crime rates that have lots of people getting shot, not the places that have high gun ownership where people get shot. And that's where the disconnect is. They're trying to create this idea that guns are out there doing this instead of people are out there doing this. People are hard to control. Saying take away all the guns is an easy answer, and it's very political, but it won't solve any of the problems. And he said there's other countries that have taken away guns, and they don't have gun violence anymore. Well, guess what? Places like England still have gun violence. It's less than it was before, but it's still there. If you look at the statistics in England, and they're very good at kind of trying to bury them in layers, if you look at how many people get murdered in England, it's almost the same as when they had guns. They're just being stabbed and beaten to death. Okay? So this whole idea that criminals, when you take all the guns away, crime will stop, murders will stop, is ridiculous. Crime and murder has been going on since man began on this earth. It's just the tools in which we used to do it to each other. And the way that you keep man from killing each other is you have to educate. You have to teach people. You have to give them hope. You have to give them focus. You have to let the people who are nut jobs know that they're going to be held accountable. Right now we live in a country where people don't think they're going to get caught, and a lot of people don't have any hope of getting out of their current conditions, so they resort to lives of crime. So again, we don't have a firearm problem with murder. What we have is we have a crime problem with murder, and they're two very, very different things.